But yeah, welcome to our session on how to fast track your instructor career. So we're really, I guess, wanting to just go through a few different, nuggets of information on how you can not only progress into the industry on your first season and start an employment position, but also how you can, put yourself in the best position for future employment as well. Just to kick things off, I'll just introduce myself first. So I'm Ash, one of the training consultants here at EA Ski and Snowboard. I'm also someone that's quite involved with the industry in terms of examination of people coming through the different levels, and as a trainer for one of the local fields that I live here. So I'll just pass it over to here to Tristan. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hey, I'm Tristan. I'm the American contingent here. I grew up in Northern California and grew up skiing at North Star, one of our programs.
Firstly, just talk about an instructor internship. What that is, I guess it's at the end of the day, that's sort of what we're all about here. That's what we're best known for as well, EA. And I guess it's also probably what we would say we personally feel is the best way to fast track your way into the industry. It all happens in one season, and it basically is training and certification with a guaranteed job offer. I guess I'll let Tristan just explain just a very sort of short summary of how it works.
Yeah, so with the internship, it starts off with 3 weeks of training where you would concentrate on both the pieces of learning how to be an instructor and how to effectively do that, as well as your skill set. We get a lot of positive feedback from our candidates during this process, because usually most of them have not done the full 3 weeks straight, and everybody watches their skill sets go up dramatically. And then after that, you'll have a 5-day exam. Everything is on piece, and from there, once you pass your exam, you get a guaranteed job offer, and then do a day of shadowing, and then you're off the slopes teaching the girls how to ski or snowboard. And so you'll be working as an instructor for the remainder of the season. And so from there, we've got a couple of different options as far as the different internships. We have a level 1 program, and then we have what we call Ultimate Plus, which is a level 1 and 2 program. And we're getting a little bit more detail on how to determine which one might be kind of the best direction for you to go, and how to decide on where to take it, depending on what your goals are with your career.
So I guess just to really look at, aside from the internship itself, the best way to sort of put yourself in the shoes of an employer. An employer really will be looking for someone that's got an international certification. So there's an international body called the ISIA. They have there's a variety of member countries that are all part of that. So all our programs that we offer have a certifying body that is recognised under that umbrella. So that's obviously one prerequisite for employment. To put yourself in the best possible state of employment following on from a season really is to have some working experience, and also to have ideally your level 2 certification. That will put you in the best possible spot. Often what you will find in this industry is people that are looking to just get level 2 through just training and certifying for it, but not having any work experience. They will be probably also in amongst the group of employees, or prospective employees for an employer. So I guess whatever you can do to enhance yourself, in that quite competitive market. We recently had another webinar that had Toby Arnott, the general manager of Snow Sports, and he was indicating that often the way that they work on a recruitment is to look at the top qualified instructors, sort of most experienced, and they're sort of working away from that point down. So it just puts you, I guess, into that higher prioritization of an employer. And
And I think what you'll find too is that as much as this is, I mean, it's absolutely the dream job and the dream career. It's remembering that it is a real job and it's a real career. There's a career path. You know, you're sitting down and you've got to you're sitting down with hiring managers. You have a CV. You got to build kind of, you know, your brand book, so to speak, too, as far as your working references with you know, with the different resorts that you've worked at. And so it's little things as well. It's showing up on time, working hard, providing great customer service for you know, for your different families and different people that you're doing lessons for.
Yeah, I guess probably things that I've found, you know, in my few years that I've been here with EA is really, I guess, when someone has completed an internship season with us, you know, we do often get feedback. We get a chance to sort of find out how everyone enjoyed the season, but also sort of where they're planning on going next, what their intentions are, and you know, basically, I guess the good bit of feedback that we do often get from people is, you know, that they have got the job lined up, got an employer that's taken them on board, and yeah, I guess from a perspective that we really don't really have too many times, I would say, that someone's coming to us going, look, I'm just really struggling to find a job out here. Probably the more common thing that we find when people first inquire with us, if they're not signed up to a program, would be maybe if they've got like a level 1 qualification and maybe haven't had a chance to work in the industry. Level 1, without any experience, it is still an international certification, but it doesn't quite have its weight. It's a bit easier to obtain for people, and also snow sports schools can be a little bit picky. They can pick and choose who they want. So yeah, it's something, I guess, just if you are weighing everything all up, it's obviously very important that you kind of trying to plan out your full process, sort of what you're wanting to achieve. Like Tristan was saying, if it's a long-term goal of entering into the industry, there is a very clear pathway to making it a career. I guess just to sort of give you a bit of a summary, I mean, from myself, I've been fortunate enough to be able to travel to work in China, of all places, Japan, Canada. Just in the last 2 years, I've been over South America as well. So it sort of really does create these opportunities, international opportunities that you can certainly make and explore. The longer you stay in it as well, obviously the easier it is for the likes of sponsored visas, which can sometimes be a little bit of a hurdle for people when they're first starting out. Anyone that joins our program, typically, if they're going internationally, will need to get a working holiday visa, because it's all based around sort of visa eligibilities. So that's sort of the easiest process that people use. But I guess to take it a little bit beyond, like if you are, you know, if you're someone that's thinking, right, I want to make this a longer term option, level 3 is an option that, yeah, it's a good high standard. It's one that, you know, for a career type instructor, level 3 is a massive achievement. Obviously, level 2 is a great achievement as well, but level 3, I guess, is sort of for those people that are, you know, really keen to really have a good, thorough knowledge in terms of technical understanding, analytical skills, and being able to take out the best skiers and snowboarders on the mountain. So that is something, in terms of a process, people do take a few seasons to go towards in some instances. You know, if you have been someone that's, for example, you've maybe started working in the industry, you've done an internship season. We do have also a level 3 option, which does take place in New Zealand, and it's a very cool program. It does have guaranteed job offer, just like all our other internships. It's geared a little bit more towards the training, and there is a pre-course that you have to do before you do an examination. So that's really, I guess, an opportunity for you to kind of get good feedback from an examiner, and just make sure you're sort of in the right kind of direction in terms of your preparation for the exam. The exam doesn't have to be done in that same season. You can sort of make that call as you go. But yeah, I guess level 3 is one that really will open the doors to lots of different jobs. The pay rate, I guess, in terms of a pay scale, it's something we often get asked about quite a bit. How much you earn as an instructor, and it does make quite a substantial jump each time you're going up a certification level. So it's something really relevant for you to keep in mind. If you're, we will admit, I mean, first season, it can be sort of a little bit more of a challenging season in regards to the work levels. We do design all our programs so that you will have the capability that you should be able to earn enough out of your earnings to support your living. There are some places that we will advise you specifically that are maybe better than others. So obviously do let us know if that's a concern or something you're particularly wanting. But yeah, once you're up to the likes of level 3, it does go up in terms of a jump of not just a number of cents, like 50 cents or something like that. It's a number of dollars. And as you go further along, if you do want to, you can go all the way through to a trainer certification, which that ultimately is, I guess, it's coming around a full circle. You're actually going out and training people to become instructors, both in the snow sports school. It might be that you're also working towards becoming an examiner and assessing people to come into the industry. So that's kind of, it is often classed as level 4 for many systems. The New Zealand system is called Trainer Cert. For the likes of the Canadian system, it's called level 4. But yeah, it's one that I guess people can sort of make that, I guess, a very specialised option. But then you've also got things like coaching certs that you can go down. You can go into freestyle, you can go into race. There's all sorts of different areas that I guess will help you.
And it's kind of the beauty of it too. I mean, it's the homework you get. You know, you got to work on your backside 360s.
Yeah, definitely.
You're covering your off-piste specialties. So that's where it gets really, really fun, and you can really take a lot of different directions with that. So you know, when you're kind of looking at the different directions that you can go and start to put plans together. So you know, for our candidates that are, you know, in Australia, New Zealand, UK, qualified for the working holiday visas in New Zealand, Canada, and Japan. You know, that's we got a lot of really good options to go on level 2 there. For our U.S. candidates, our program in North Star is fantastic. It's a really progressive ski school. We have a tremendous amount of training there. And you know, you can leverage that into a level 3 in New Zealand. That a lot of the my American advanced US actually don't even realize that they qualify for a working holiday visa in Australia, in New Zealand, and in Australia, where you can get that 1-year visa to go to work and travel. And so, yes, it's good just to kind of understand what those different options are, where you can go with your passport. And so that's another piece that we can kind of help walk you through and figure out what the best direction is for us to do. And one other question that we get for quite a bit too is, you know, hey, once I've done a program with EA, you know, what are my options as far as, you know, getting into the guaranteed job or getting more work? And so one thing that you know, aside from looking at a level 3 that has a guaranteed job, is that for any of our candidates that have done a program with us, we would definitely put you in touch with our program managers at any given resort that you're looking to go, and so we can help guide you through that process. And you know, if you've got your special get your level 2, it makes it very easy, you know, to get that interview and help, you know, get you in touch with the people that you need to talk to on that. So definitely a lot of advantages of kind of getting that step into the industry. I think one of the key pieces about our program is that guaranteed job.
Yeah.
It's I'm going to ask you, I get at least 1 or 2 calls a week of, hey, I did this training program and you know, I can't find any work. It's tough. It's really challenging. And so you know, if you're looking to, you know, invest into a program, at minimum you want to make sure that you have a guaranteed job as an instructor, because that work experience is critical, you know, in this industry. And it's the same in any industry, but it's within getting your foot in the door there is really, really difficult, and that's where we help a lot of our candidates kind of start that process. So I would say make sure that you're looking at that. So yeah.
We just have a question here. So thank you there, Snowfred. We've got I'll just read it out so everyone can, that's obviously watching. And I guess just so you know, with these sessions, they are recorded. So obviously, if you want to view it later, if you had only could watch part of it or anything like that, that's totally fine. And if you do want to share it out with your mates who think they might benefit from it, obviously you can do. There's a share option. I'll just read through this question, and we can obviously do our best to answer what it is there. So the question is, how long before should I be enrolled for a New Zealand winter program? What about English level communication? Is there any test, or is it possible to combine English classes with a snowboard program?
Yeah, so with Grant, a great question there. So kind of asking a number of different pieces there. As far as enrolling for our programs, since we have our guaranteed job slot with every different position, we do have those limited spots for each program, and so we work on a kind of a first come first served basis. Once you've talked to one of us, one of our colleagues on the different programs, if you find something that's a fit, then the way that we would do that is you put down a deposit to be able to lock in your spot, and then we figure out the details from there. And so, for example, right now we've got our New Zealand program starting up in about 2 months now, and we're basically fully sold out on that program. We've got 1 or 2 spots that we can still talk to some people about, but for the most part, we'll see. A lot of our candidates are obviously signing up for the 2017-18 Northern Hemisphere season, and we've opened up our applications for 2018-19 as well. And so a lot of people will plan out quite a bit in advance.
And just as a suggestion, I guess on that note, if you felt like you've got a reasonable base level of English, but you just want to improve that, there is the likes of language schools in where we're located right now in Queenstown. That's something that's quite common. People come out and varying different degrees of English language. I think it's something, if you were probably a bit concerned about it, it might be worth coming out prior to doing the program. So you've just got that kind of intensive opportunity to just that your English is at a stronger standard. On the note, if you are, I'm not too sure there, Snowfred, if you are able to maybe just pop in the comments section there, or just the chat feed on the right hand side. Just if you don't mind us asking whereabouts you're from. There are just, I guess, one other thing I'd just make note of if you are trying to sort of work out as well enrolling for the New Zealand program is some countries for the working holiday visa for a New Zealand working holiday, they do have a very specific time that they open those visas. Some it's unlimited, it's open all the time. But there are some countries that are very specific, so it has to be in April or it could be in September, or I'm not sure exactly on specifics of every country, but basically something we just would want to ensure we're kind of planning out everything in advance. And probably the easiest way to do that is just for us to have a chat over the phone, also to help assess a bit of a level of English competency, so just to ensure that we feel your conversational level is at an appropriate level for the program. So hopefully that helps.
Yeah.
All good. Obviously, if you have any other questions, please feel free to put them through. That's the whole purpose of this session is to make sure you're getting what you want, what's the most value to yourself. I guess, we'll just jump into maybe another point, which is just regarding dual certification. Really, I guess we're wanting to ensure that we're helping to enhance your employability really in this industry, and that's what the internship does. But an area that is relevant to, in particular, to certain people that have an ability to do skiing and snowboarding is looking at one of our dual certification programs. So we do have this option specifically at a place called Big White. But saying that, it's not that Big White's the only option that people can look to get another discipline while they're out on program. There are sort of ways and I guess insights that we can sort of share through your discussion with us. You know, where you're going, we'll probably dictate that a little bit as to what training opportunities are out there. But yeah, I guess from an employer standpoint, maybe if you can just say what you think.
Yeah. So I mean, like we had kind of mentioned earlier, is with having that the ability to do both sports really opens up your options as far as your employability. It's just another piece you can have on your CV, so to speak. And so when kind of looking at what you can do on that side, having the ski side of ski certifications does give you a lot more options. And then if you've got the combination with that and snowboard, it really opens up that for yourself. That being said, too, we've got a number of different programs that have really progressive ski schools that can provide additional employee training throughout the season as well. So you could be doing a level 1 certification through our program, and then during the rest of the season be able to pick up potentially a level 1 snowboard certification, for example. And so that's something when you talk to one of us, we can kind of point you through the different schools that we've got that do provide additional training like that. And so once again, it's kind of taking a look at your overall goal. I mean, a lot of what we do is going to help with that kind of career guidance and planning on that, because it's that first season can turn into so much as far as a career goes. And so we do our best to try to educate all of our candidates all the different options there, so you understand, hey, if I'm looking to do this, what is my best route? What's my most effective route to get there? And so what's exciting is that there are a lot of options for you. And like I said, the homework's great. We can definitely help work you through any of those pieces there. So,
yeah, I guess just a sudden thought I've had here is I did address earlier that if there is someone that's got a level 1 qualification, they're at a bit of a point of what do I do? I've invested this money, I've put this time into getting this certification, but I'm just struggling and I don't know where to go from here. I've kind of committed myself, but I don't know what to do. We do have an option. More so, it's geared for it in Switzerland, so we can provide it at a place called Zermatt, which it allows you to be able to go through with your level 1 qualification to jump right into your level 2 training and look at getting your certification for that. Obviously, combined with the guaranteed job offer, like all our internships have. Yeah, we can also look at other countries. If you're sort of looking at the likes of New Zealand, or if you're looking at Japan, Canada, and you're eligible to go to one of those countries, if you've already got level 1, we can look at a possible removal of that cost. It just, I guess, would be something we just want to determine whether that's a benefit to you. I mean, sometimes it can actually be good having a certification from another association. Sometimes it might not feel overly relevant and might not be overly necessary. But yeah, we'd try to determine that for you, obviously, over the call. But
good stuff. It's kind of big. We got to hit the major points there as far as what to look for. I think the big thing is kind of starting with the end in mind is where you want to go, and that's where talking with one of us over here, we can help educate you on all the different pieces, because it's a lot of the feedback I get from from my candidates when we first talk is, wow, I didn't realize that I could do that. I didn't realize that there's a full career here. And so that's a really big part of we here at EA, we really work on educating our candidates to really understand all the different directions and from the beginning, so that way it can help really make that decision on which direction might be the best for you at this point in time. And so yeah, so we're always here. Never hesitate to reach out to us and ask any questions. It's we love helping people kind of bring them through. So it's you guys get the seasons. Well, we got our season coming up in a couple months, so we're getting pretty excited. So the snow is in the air.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I mean, I definitely encourage you to reach out to us if you got questions. You just got goals that you got in mind that you just want to kind of go, well, how's this going to work? What would be? I've got this slight dilemma. Something's in my way of being able to do it now, but what are my options? We obviously want to try and problem solve for you. But another little thing, I just thought it's quite it's not really an inclusion as such on our programs, but I think it's more of a benefit and value that you get out of having done an internship, is you've got really, an insight that you're completely fully integrated with the snow sports school. So you've got a wealth of knowledge. Like, you've got people that are connected. They know snow sports school directors. They know senior coordinators. That they know all sorts of different people. So it's often just a case of actually just having a chat, putting it out there that, hey, where do you work, and just sort of getting that kind of rolling while you're out on your season. Because that is something that it could very well be that you might reach the end of that season. You've got quite often, like to the Queenstown crew, like I've often been. I've done 2 seasons where I was training the Queenstown interns, and that was something I was finding, is they were getting job offers. It wasn't necessarily something I was actively trying to encourage, but they were sort of finding that through their own connections in the school, which is, I guess if you're wanting to benefit yourself, having done your season to the best possible degree, I'd say get out there and get communicating with the school. You'll start to form some friendships, and people that will be good industry contacts.
That's an awesome point. It's this, as big as the industry may seem, it's a small world, and you'll have, for example, all the program coordinators for NZ SIA down here in New Zealand all work up in Japan, and so that connection just from doing the program here opens all that up too. And like Ash was saying, talk with Ski Patrol, talk with the other instructors. A lot of them have been around. They've worked in many different resorts. They can tell you, where to go, where not to go. How to best get sponsored with a visa, whatever it may be. And there's always someone else who's done it. And so really work on those relationships, and that will really help you branch out and figure out those next steps and how to best link up everything, have a successful career. Yep.